Sanchez going down, is that related to the injury or to Severino?
The pitching. We need pitching. So our plans were to DH him today. That's obviously not going to happen. So with what we've done in our bullpen the last few days, we just felt we needed pitching.
How difficult is it for a young guy like that? I mean, he has one game against Chris Sale and has to go.
I said, your first start's against a Cy Young guy. Not real easy, but he understood. And, we got to get our pitching straightened out, and we got to make sure that, we're covered.
Billy?
Would Chad Green line up for Severino, or you're undecided?
We're not there. We'll worry about that when we get there.
Okay, so he's available. Chad Green would be available.
He's here to pitch if we need him.
Okay.
T, you might have to come up with something today.
Anything new with Severino, or just
same as what they diagnosed is yesterday?
And I'm sorry, I wasn't in here last night. What's the next step for CC?
I think he's going to do a simulated game as his next step.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if that goes well, could he?
He could be back.
So we've already been through some stuff. We're not going to necessarily repeat it. If you guys want to talk to Sevy, you make the decision. He's going to be there the rest of the day. It'd be easy for me to grab him. So you guys made the decision to talk to him, which is fine. But we're not going to repeat the rest of this.
Really?
Dan, it's really easy. I mean, it's pretty easy. We could have got Sevy 10 minutes from now or 15 minutes from now. What's that? Joe, do you want to briefly?
Yeah, go. Just go. Just go. You have a question? Go ahead.
Joe, obviously, with the where you had to use the bullpen yesterday, the decision to bring two guys up. Why did you decide on the two that you brought up?
They've been pitching the best, is the bottom line. Green obviously gives you a ton of distance. He's a starter down there, and it was his day to pitch today, so that lines up. Connor is more of a shorter guy, but when it comes to distance-wise, but he's went multiple innings and has been pitching well.
With Green, do you see him as a guy that could slide into Severino's spot?
Well, I think we'll have to worry about, let's see, that would be Wednesday. We'll have to worry about Wednesday on Wednesday. So there's obviously candidates, but we got to get to Wednesday before we really make a decision.
Who else? Anthony?
Joe, what's the latest with Ellsbury?
He'll continue to run today and see if he's a backup today, and hope is he's a player tomorrow.
Chad?
So I guess you probably don't have Goody for a few days. I guess why not?
A day or two.
Why not send him down? Why Sanchez?
Well, our plans were to DH Sanchez today and then possibly do something after that. So when you say send a player down, he's gone for 10 days. And Goody has thrown the ball pretty good. So we felt that 10 days, 1 day, this is the sort of the thing. So we decided to stick with Goody, and the other two are somewhat unknowns. So once you send a guy down, you can't get him back for 10 days unless you have an injury, and that's what we don't want is another injury. So the good thing is he didn't throw a ton of pitches yesterday, even though he was multiple innings. So we'll see where he is tomorrow.
Do you think can Ellsbury play tomorrow, or is that still up in the air?
My hope is.
Roger?
Joe, with Severino, do you envision him needing some time in Tampa to get back?
Yeah, well, let's get him healthy first, and then we'll make those decisions on what the next step is for him. I think the plan right now is for him not to pick up a baseball for 5 to 7 days, and then you go from there. And the first step always is getting a player back to where he can get back on the mound, and then you make decisions.
In terms of the way that he's pitched this season, you never want a guy to be hurt. You never want to miss turns. But do you think that this might be an opportunity to get him back on the right track to the way he was pitching last season?
Well, I mean, I'd prefer a guy who doesn't get hurt. Obviously, he has struggled. He has struggled with his, not so much his command, but more his control. I mean, he struggled with his command, yeah, not his control. He's throwing strikes, but he's not locating the strikes where he needs to locate them. And to me, that's first and foremost what we have to get ironed out. And you know, maybe a 5 or 7 days without throwing a baseball will help. I hope it does, but my preference was that he's still pitching.
For those who have photogs here today, Alex Rodriguez is at gate 2 giving out his bat for bat day if you have interest.
Has what?
He's passing out his bat.
No, what was the word you used?
Photogs? Sorry.
Photogs?
Photographers?
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
I guess I'm not up on that.
Clap.
Joe, just looking at the body of work with Severino, is it possible that he's been hurt or marginally hurt this whole time, and that would explain the inconsistency?
No, because you don't throw 97 or 98 if you're hurt.